A couple things, let's do some protocol. Let's remind ourselves, first of all, how do we make sure that we ensure that we're getting the points for our Socratic Seminar?
Participate.
Somebody, you gotta participate in discussion, okay? And at the end, we'll do a reflection, okay? And then, that's the second half of your score, all right? Do we raise hands?
Yeah. Can we put the reflections on the questions?
Yeah, you can put the reflections on the questions, because then we're ecology, we're recycling, reusing. We're not, yeah. Yeah, I think that you should also, I don't think that we need to take notes. I think that because we're going to participate in our discussion, and that's where those notes will come in, we're just discussing. And then, okay, so your reflection can go on the same paper as your questions were from last week. And you don't need to raise hands, but what are some protocols about people talking and whatnot?
Don't interrupt.
Don't interrupt people. Show respect. What else? Anything else?
Raising hands.
Do we need to raise hands?
No.
No, we don't need to raise hands.
Just speak out.
Yeah, you just speak out. Everybody has to participate in order to be able to get those points, though, and that's why I have the sheets here. I'm going to log as we go. And then, of course, okay, so let's start with, I'd like somebody to share one of their questions or statements to start. And let's go ahead and get started. We don't raise hands.
Is there ever going to be a time when we stop relying on slaughtering animals for food?
No, because that's the way of life.
Okay.
We don't.
Are you attacking? I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Brian, can you repeat the question? Because there were actually a couple people who didn't hear it. Maybe slow down while you're saying it, because some people need process time.
Is there ever going to be a time when we stop relying on slaughtering animals for food?
No.
Are you attacking the hunters, or are you pro-hunters?
I just want to know, are we ever going to find a better way of eating rather than just hunting animals?
This is what I have to
But
say about
animals
that.
have the most protein.
Are you talking about like slaughter as in factory slaughter, or slaughter as just like hunting and getting meat?
Factory slaughter. You're going to eat them.
So
How many
like
people
factory.
live in the United States? It's hard to like feed the whole like nation. So of course we're getting something that's like fast and like feed everyone quicker.
Will there ever be in the future? Do you think there can be? Or is it
No.
always
I like my meat.
You can't see the future.
Factories stop making meat, I'm gonna start hunting. Or start
It's not like we're all going to go vegetarian.
Since the beginning of time, I wouldn't consider, well, first things, I wouldn't consider it slaughtering, because an animal is an animal, not a human, and since the beginning of time we relied on meat. We need a source of protein, and it's just how it is, you know. We're omnivores, we're not herbivores, we're not just carnivores, we're both. We could do both, but we do need a healthy source of protein. That is our diet. Yeah.
Well, actually, my dad, he did a diet about 2 years ago, and he would only drink water, and he wouldn't eat any food all day, but he had protein pills, and either way he was getting the same nutrition food as normal food. So there are other ways.
There are other ways, but
Those are preferences though. If you want to be eating pills, people like the taste of meat.
Do we know what's inside those pills?
Yeah, that helps.
those are like B12 pills. My
Do we
sister
know
takes
everything?
them.
Wait, if
But even she eats meat.
Wait, let's refresh and review. Let's refresh and review the protocol for our Socratic Seminar, because what I see happening is a lot of people talking out at the same time, and then people like Danny, for instance, was just trying to say something. She has yet to be able to say something because we have people that keep talking out, and so we want to try to give everybody a chance to participate in our discussion. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to Danny. Go ahead and say what you were going to say. Okay.
Well, like when is it considered slaughter though? Like killing
in the
an animal,
factory,
you're
like
still
giving
killing
them-
it to eat it.
We'll put, like feeding them with pills and like making them like reproduce a lot faster. Like that's not healthy at all.
Okay,
Like, yeah,
now
they
that's
do
not
it.
cool.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
right.
different.
But killing an animal to eat it, that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, for me it's okay, because God gave us animals to eat. I want meat. injecting them with steroids, that's completely wrong. Like, I don't want to eat that kind of meat, but it's already dead, so I'm gonna eat that McDonald's now.
Okay, I have a question. What would you do once like all the meat was like the cows go extinct? What would you do then?
I'm
We
gonna
won't
eat
be
people.
alive by that
I'm
time.
joking. Cows won't go
Cows
extinct.
still be chickens.
Cows aren't going extinct.
I know.
Okay.
Just cows.
You don't know that though.
We wouldn't-
like slaughter
oh.
them every time.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You can't see the future.
Now they can't do it?
Okay, let's go to another question. Who has another question based on the things?
Who is saying that the automotive industry is polluting the earth? Like, who is saying that?
Harold and.
No, who is the people,
companies,
the economic people? Like, who is saying that the automotive industry is polluting the earth?
Like
I would like to know.
what
What companies?
Wasn't it based
Yes.
on cars?
Car manufacturers, GMC, Ford.
Car manufacturers saying that their automotive places
Yeah,
are polluting the earth.
They wouldn't be attacking themselves.
They're making cars.
Yeah.
Who's pointing fingers at the automotive industries?
Yeah, who's saying the automotive, like the car industries are causing the pollution?
There's a certain company that's going against them.
Environmentalists? Environmental lobbyists.
No, she said it first. She said lobbyists. It's environmental lobbyists that are indicting that.
I think that car companies are doing that too,
How so?
because like when a car company's like, oh, our cars are not eco-friendly. Let's say this car is eco-friendly, so we could sell it to the public, and the public will be like, oh, it's eco-friendly. I'm not polluting the world. I'm helping the world, even though it's still not eco-friendly, and they come out with a better model next year. So it's all about money. So they just want you to get rid of your non-eco-friendly cars so you can feel better.
So then what you're saying is that it's all rhetoric for capital.
Yes.
Conspiracy.
It's like Prop 32. Big businesses funded so that they can have a whole bunch of loopholes in it.
I think you read that pretty true.
No on Prop 32.
Okay, going back to what we were talking about, why do you think it's significant that there are people on both sides that are indicating that it's the manufacturing companies, the car manufacturing companies, that are causing these problems?
Because there's cars all over the world there's cars all over the world that produce CO2 out of their exhaust into the air. So they're like the easiest people to point fingers at.
There's a lot of people that.
Yes, but they're the easiest to point fingers at. Like, let's say you're at your house, right? And then your little sister and everybody else is there. Somebody breaks the glass. Who's the person you're gonna point fingers at? It's your little sister, because she's the one that's easier to point fingers at.
Yeah, like it's a proven fact. Like everyone knows, automobile, automobiles, like they actually do, like they even know themselves that they produce CO2. It's not only them, but they know it and accept it that they do produce it.
So going with what you're saying, it's basically come to a point where no one can deny the fact that the automotive industry is causing so much pollution. So now, if they were to deny it, everyone looks against them like, oh, they're trying to fool us and all that. So now they have to accept it and try to find other ways to manipulate.
Yeah, absolutely. They never denied it, you know, but they're not saying that they're the largest contributor to all the greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. As I said, you know, there's big manufacturing companies that, you know, like steel mills and stuff. I remember Pittsburgh, back when Pittsburgh became the Steelers, basically. That whole area was full of soot and a whole bunch of bad things in the air. And there wasn't much cars back then, right? So it's a lot of those huge companies and a lot of huge manufacturing places that are just spelling out all their gases into the air with those huge cooling towers that I showed you guys pictures of that are also the largest contributors.
Industry is only contributing 10%. Transportation is 30%. And then electricity is 40%.
So based
So
on that,
it's not transportation that's the most, or industry is electricity to make fossil fuels and
Is
things
that-
like that.
Is that chart based off of just industries and
the
cars
Yeah.
and just
EPA.
what people are making, or is it based off of
Every-
everything? So not just what people are making.
no.
People are making people are making 10% and industry is making 14%.
Of the total carbon.
No, that's just carbon dioxide. That's carbon dioxide.
Why do do you think, going back to what Harold was saying, why do you think that if it is big industry, according to, we have two different sides. One side is saying it's cars, three sides, cars, people, and then big industry. A lot of people are suggesting that it's actually big industry that's causing these problems. Why do you think that they would instead want to blame the cars? Why would big industries, all these different industries, and industry doesn't mean car manufacturing. Industry, there's tons of different industries that are emitting these gases. And so why would big industry want to blame it on the cars?
Because there's so many cars.
If other people are going down, so they think you go to the car industry instead of
That's negation.
A lot of people don't see the fact that the cars, you see them everywhere, so
They're already-
it's easier to blame.
They want to say it's not the industries, it's the people who buy your stuff. I throw my trash when they take it.
I have another question. I have questions. How are we keeping exotic animals safe by leaving them in the ocean?
You can take them out
That's
of
why,
their
that's
natural
why people are
habitat.
taking them out to preserve them.
Yeah, that's my point. 'Cause some people say leave them in their natural habitat. Exotic animals like the small population is keeping them safe. Or actually, it's more dangerous because there's a lot of bigger fishes out there that eat little fishes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but then again, if you compare it to the anglerfish, which is only way at the bottom of the ocean, like they don't get attacked. We still take them and take them out.
And the
But
English
that's
actually
one
like
fish.
Huh?
Takes
on the
more.
English.
That's because a lot of people get
Okay.
We're talking over each other. Let's give each other a chance.
Like those animals should be left there alone. Like they're under water pressure. Like they're way down there, for a reason. They're not meant to be taken out.
You said the anglerfish, right?
Mhm.
One fish,
Well, that's the main
one fish out of many exotic animals.
Okay, but Brian, how big is the ocean?
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
Ocean.
How many fish are we taking out of it?
I wouldn't know, Charles.
There's
I
a
don't
pretty
have
big
that.
ocean out there. We're taking out a couple of the exotic fish when there are probably billions more
But-
like it in there.
What are we putting these exotic fish in?
Like aquariums.
Aquariums,
research,
zoos,
the
natural
On my
knowledge
plate.
is Big, big.
So is that a good thing, Danielle, or?
I think it's good because when you do research on them in the colleges and stuff, you get to like clone them and do more with them. Like you're actually helping produce more rather than taking away and never finding out about them. So yeah, I think we could go like very deep into them and stuff like that. Not just keep them down. We're doing
I know that some
Money
animals.
Well, like,
It's
like,
money, but like, go ahead, Rich.
like our like future generations, like our kids, what if like, they'll never get to see how that animal looks like, and if we take them out, we're just gonna be like, there's like aquariums that actually do have that pressure, like that, so they can actually like live there, and if they're way down in the ocean, we never get to see them, then we know about them, we can see pictures, but that's not the same as actually like looking at them, so that's why we like take them out just to like, to preserve them or keep them in like those kind of places.
Like the
And kind of
krill
going to what
Pacific.
Christian said, there's like two sides to this. Like some people will say like it's for the money, but at the same time, like look at Christian's side, it's also for our future generations. So it's like, yeah, okay, they're getting some percentage of money and income off of this, but at the same time, what do you want the future generations to do? Look at fossils?
Okay, but look, how many of us would actually go to an aquarium to look at one of those fish? Sure, yeah, all of us
The
would like to
aquarium
raise our hands, but
Pacific.
how many of us actually did?
I did. Every single time in elementary.
But there are a lot. There's a huge. There are a whole bunch of people on Earth out there. Billions and billions and billions of people on Earth.
Yes.
No, not that. Like 6 billion people on Earth, right? Now, how many of them are going to be able to go to that one aquarium and look at all those?
One
exotic
aquarium,
I
Charles?
know what you're saying.
Yeah,
There's
there
a lot
are
of
many
people.
aquariums,
Yeah.
but will everyone go
Charles.
over there? I think that's
Okay, not
We have the
everyone.
money.
I just think that's what we.
You're right, you have a point, not everyone, but look at the people who are like purposely researching like sea creatures, wildlife sea
That's
creatures,
the
the
law.
ones who work for these types of things. There's a lot of people in that area in that field who are
Yes.
gonna look for that stuff.
Where's your backing check?
Charles, they can see them books. You said we could go to the you're like not everyone can go to the aquariums. Well, if we record it and take pictures, they can see the books for people like us.
Excuse me, Charles. You said one aquarium.
Go ahead.
Oh, you said one aquarium, Charles.
Sorry, I did
just
that
saying,
too.
there
I
is
did
not
that
just
for
one
emphasis,
aquarium.
Okay, don't attack me. I did that for emphasis. Okay.
I'm just stating the facts.
Okay, but if we go back to, I'd that, and we're saying that we wanna put them in these aquariums so generations can see them and whatnot. That's a twofold issue. On the one hand, who are we? And why do we matter so much that we have to take nature out of it? It's wildlife.
We are thinking.
No,
We are thinking creatures. That's what
I'm not
animals
done.
can't
I'm
think.
not done.
Wait, I'm not done.
No, you're interrupting. You're breaking rule number 1 of Socratic Seminar.
Listen to
All right.
folks.
So the key thing is that we're taking wildlife out of its natural habitat so that we can see it, so that we can look at it, and then two, ecologically, when you take one thing out of its natural habitat and there is less of that animal or living creature, then ecologically it'll affect the evolution. It'll affect other things also. So my question I go back to is that why do humans matter so much that we should take things out of its natural habitat?
Survival of the fittest.
We're not feeding them.
Wait. We have people trying to. Deja, why don't you?
For now, we're just being selfish. We're just trying to help ourselves win. There's other things out there that we don't need, but we do because we're the dominant species here. So they can't really do anything about it. So it's like we do it, they can't fight back. So.
Okay, so we're being selfish, but there's people who study like for certain animals that take care of these animals. Like look at the Gulf of Mexico when that oil spill came. Who came and cleaned up all those animals full of oil? People, but we're selfish enough to like clean them.
How many people out of the entire 6 billion?
I wouldn't know, but still, that's one area. But
China's gonna
this is
come.
happening all over the world. People are helping animals, like they're protecting them, they're nurturing them.
How many people out of the 6 billion?
I wouldn't know. But still, there are people.
So,
How many people are killing animals? A small portion.
prove it.
There's 5% of people killing animals. 12.5 million.
Where are you getting this?
I've gotten this from the. If you listen to my debate, you would have known what research I have used.
All you have to say is that it was based on the research.
It was based on research that I've done.
Okay.
But what about the people who are like, they run out of or they get tired of eating regular fish or whatever, so they eat exotic fish, especially when they're vegetarian and things like that, you know? That's pretty big. That's why they're pulling them out. Just want to throw that side note in there.
Okay, let me throw this in. Meat is good. My sister's vegetarian. She still sneaks a piece of meat in every once in a while. No, but she eats meat. Okay? Meat is good.
I would like to add that, you know, you guys keep saying how many people on the earth, 6 billion? You can't count all that 6 billion, because that also includes little children, old people,
There's a census, man.
people all the way in the middle of, let's say, Africa, right? That have never, let's say, been in a car, I'm speaking, and have never watched TV, right? Now, 6 billion people, okay, that's a lot of people, but not all of them are going to come and clean up the oil, right? There's people who have jobs for that, people at BP who should have done it, right? Because it was their oil spill, so they should have been responsible for it.
Like that.
I think we are being selfish.
How?
Or
They're taking.
Yes, but I believe it goes back to survival of the fittest. Like, dude, I get how
Let the other
people are
Danielle
saying.
speak.
If it's an experiment, if it's
Is your man?
Do you know these things?
well, the angular fish, they only found one, and it was so old. Well, it was already. I don't even think it was on the verge of dying. Like it lived for like 5 years.
That's the angler. I think there's more. Isn't there?
Yeah.
Exactly. So why would we get more fish that we don't even know of? Why are we gonna take more fish that we don't even
That's
have?
because we don't know of. That's why we want to
Well,
take
if
them
we kill them, then that's probably the last one.
wait, but who said
I know
anything
we
about
don't kill them.
killing them? We said putting them in tanks and
So
aquariums.
let's not kill
They
them.
have
We can
things
preserve
that
them in
can't
an
get more.
aquarium.
Dude, they're not
We
in
are-
natural habitat.
Can I say this?
They don't.
The shock is gonna kill it.
Okay, so then let's
Have you
get
ever
to the
taken a
regular based little
goldfish
goldfish that nobody eats.
Alright, excuse me. I'd like to say something.
A lot. It's a snack that smells bad.
Sam, So, back in the day, we didn't have technology. This is the 21st century where we can build certain stuff to
Can you
to
build
have.
an anglerfish?
We can build a habitat for the anglerfish to live in. We can build that. We can modify that. This is the 21st century technology stage. We should use it for natural research to help the animals. Look, at the Aquarium Pacific, they have climate controls and certain tidal waves for fish in the water. It's like if you go there, they have cold temperatures, they have hot temperatures. They have like these deep, dark water tanks for jellyfishes. They have certain tanks for sharks. They have separate tanks for sharks for nurturing them.
But then you're just gonna put them in a tank.
Yeah,
They're
true.
so they were so used to this big ocean.
Yeah.
But there's other bigger
You know,
fish that are like eating these.
I have to
creatures
say-
who are exotic. Put them in a tank.
I have to say, if we didn't have the new pressurized suits that we did now, how would we know that they were being eaten down there at that deep level that they're at, right?
Maybe they were.
Us as
Well, like, if they manage to survive like 400 years, why don't we just leave them down there instead of taking them out and save them? Like, they already lived 400 years.
You know, before we go into other
And
people's,
just a lot more money to go down there too, because like
Yeah.
impression you have to
Just
go
leave
like.
them there, they're already living.
before we go down there and help all the animals, let's stop world hunger, right? let's fix ourselves first. Like America, we're always going to other people's business and stuff. Let's fix our own.
That's how people make money, because people want to see new things. They don't just want to see the same thing over and over again. It's their life. They want to see new things. They want to live it out and not see the same.
How much money can you make off of one fish?
So you're saying not to have any zoos or like,
I'm tired, Walter. Let me see the new fish that we got from the bottom of the sea.
well, like,
Well, if you go to the aquarium
well, if you think
Pacific,
about it, like, where do you see, where else would you be able to see it? It's like saying let's not have any zoos, so you can't, when do you ever see a parrot just like
Why do
fly
we need
around
to?
here?
Why do we need to do that?
Maybe we would see them.
Do they feed us? Or we
No.
Well, and you have to think about, concluding note, is you will see certain animals flying around in their natural habitat. This is the
Go to their
desert.
natural
so they
habitat.
won't be here. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and do a learning log, reflecting on our discussion today.
we're done.
We're done?
Why?
So got 30 minutes.
Really?
No.
I know, you love this. I love that you
I do
love
love
this.
this.
I love that you're like, let me just talk all period. I love it.
Guys,
Love
we
it.
have tomorrow.
Learning logs.
Like we should have the people present
Let's go.
tomorrow.
Who has to present? Raise your hand. You want to do it tomorrow? Raise your hand.
Meet our-
Yes, let's
No,
present
no, no, no,
tomorrow.
no, no.